Hey man, this is Scott Spoede. Just wanted to catch up with you guys. We're about halfway between our last men's meeting in October and our next one on November 14th. And so want to just do a quick connect and quick just re-envisioning before we get to that. And so last week we were continuing looking at our 7 accountability questions, and we unpacked have you been getting adequate time in Bible study and prayer? And men, I will tell you, I have been convicted myself. I know I spent a lot of time in the Word, but prayer, and God has started opening up and revealing stuff to me as I've actually stopped and waited and listened to what He had to say. So I want to encourage you guys with that. And also just encourage you with quick visual. I feel like God gave me for this, just to say, talk about complete obedience. The other morning, I cleaned out every morning I had the same ritual. I clean out my coffee pot. I put the grounds out, like refresh everything, fill up the water tank, everything, and I had everything perfect. And I put it in, and then I start reading, and I get a cup after I start reading. Well, I did it the other morning, and I did everything perfectly, but it didn't brew. And so when it came time to get coffee, I was like, "Why is the water tank still full?" And so I looked at it, and all the buttons were still flashing, and realized that I hadn't pushed the tray all the way in for the coffee grounds. And even though I'd done everything perfectly, still wasn't fully done because it wasn't fully pushed in. And I felt like immediately God was saying, hey, He's calling us to full obedience. We can say all the right stuff. We can pray all the right prayers. We can be at all the right events. We can be that good citizen. But when God is calling us to do something completely, He's asking us, nope, you got to go all the way and shut it. And then as soon as I did that the other day, as soon as I press it in, boom, it just starts pouring. The coffee starts pouring in, and man, it was so good and so relieved that we had coffee that morning. But even more so, as soon as we are obedient to God, God is pouring into us. He's ready to pour into you today. He's ready to pour into this week, but He's asking for full obedience. And that's, once again, why we're going through these 7 questions, because we're trying to just pull out the weeds there and say, what are those areas, what are those small areas, and what are those small things I even just need to confess to other guys or to other people, so that I can be free and experience God flowing through me and experience His full goodness. Because He's not asking you to do everything and then just don't shut the door yet. He's asking for full obedience. And so that's what I want to encourage you with today. And just so you know, next time when we meet on November 14th, we're going to go for question 5. Have you honored time, the time you spent with your spouse or your roommate? And looking forward to unpack that with some verses. But just a heads up, we might be moving it into the youth hall versus the courtyard, just because of lighting and the weather at this point. So either the courtyard or the youth hall, but kind of be paying attention to that. All right, love you guys, and I'll be seeing you around.